As the head of financial education at Old Mutual, John Manyike says, winter does not come alone. It comes along with the cost of trying to keep warm. This is the reality for many consumers and households as the temperature drops. Money has to be spent for various items to stay cozy. This as many consumers are already facing high cost of living, including food, transport and electricity, among others.
One of the most common thing from people is to try and use a heater and all types of things to keep warm. But the reality is the more you use your heater, the more you push up your electricity cost. Of course, we know that there is load shedding, but I haven't heard anyone saying because of load shedding, I'm paying less on electricity, because we have seen some huge tariff hikes from Eskom.
Zandile Makoba is a consumer economist from Liberty, and she says while people will naturally look for alternatives, substitutes are also increasing as the demand rises.
We are going to see a little bit more pinch in terms of consumer pressures on the balance sheets. It is so because we also are dealing with essential good items, so we can't live with some of the things that we need to purchase, and energy and warmth being part of that list.
An increase in expenditure puts pressure on families earning an income, but it's even more severe for those that rely on government grants as their only source of income.
We are still seeing that prices are increasing further than they were last year. So how much this inflationary increase buffers against current increases is a big concern. And this does then push consumers to look at alternatives. Many times that means getting other family members involved. So if you do have a relative who can support you financially, often that becomes the case.
Manyike shares some common mistakes and advice that can assist in saving a rand or two during the winter period.
People prefer to stay indoors during winter as opposed to doing entertainment outdoors. That also comes with additional costs. People eat a lot when they are home. So some people have made the fridge their permanent residential address. So we eat and drink a lot, but mostly food consumption becomes at its peak when we are at home. So again, we need to stick to our budget, So it means try and limit the temptation of ordering in and buying takeaways when you're at home during winter. High usage of data consumption during winter, because people rely on social media and other things where they have to use data, and that data consumption means more cost. Do not underestimate the benefits of this loyalty and rewards program. So whenever you get points, whether you get points for swiping your card at the filling station or whichever way that you're earning points, make use of those points. It will actually go a long way. In fact, your loyalty and rewards cards have become the new emergency fund. People who are married to specific brands when they're doing their grocery shopping, it's going to burn a hole. So there's a time where you need to issue some of those expensive brands a divorce decree.
According to data from Stats SA, retail trade sales increased by 1.8% in the 3 months ended July 2022 compared with the 3 months ended July 2021. The largest positive contributors to this increase were retailers in textiles, clothing, footwear and leather goods, as well as general dealers. This indicates that during the winter months of last year, consumers spent money on clothing, presumably winter clothing. Makoba says there are ways of getting around buying expensive clothes during this time.
End of season sales, buy for the next year. That will allow you to just avoid some of the inflationary increase that are facing us immediately. You also know that at the end of the season, the retail prices do come down. What we are always omitting as South Africans is developing a savings culture. I think the challenges that we are facing today are just a big reminder in terms of starting to put away what we can. As difficult as it is, one of the best buffers against the current crisis is actually having something stored away so that you are able to spend a little bit more when you need it.
Even though the economic growth prospects are less than encouraging, for example, the International Monetary Fund has slashed growth outlook for the country to 0.1%, while the South African Reserve Bank pegs growth at 0.2%. But these experts believe that with some change in spending behavior, the winter season may not be as bad after all. Diabosito, SABC News, Johannesburg.